Hey there YouTube, it's me Victor L. Thorpe, your favorite speed skater Olympian and YouTube dietitian. In today's video I want to share with you guys everything that I've learned since I started nasal breathing exactly 1 year ago. And it taught me a bunch of things. The most important one is that it makes a massive difference. So if you're not already using a nasal strip and breathing through your nose, well, my first tip would be start doing it. Now, I said I've only been using nasal strips for 1 year. That said, however, I started my nasal strip, nasal band journey multiple years ago. The issue was that I didn't really feel like it made a difference. It didn't stick well overnight or through my workouts. However, I found a brand of high quality. It's the one I'm using right now. I am promoting them, Intake Breathing. I'm promoting them because it really freaking works. I made comparison videos. These guys, they stick on for 7-hour plus bike rides in the desert of Utah, where I'm training on a daily basis. They're impressive and they use different technology. It's magnetic strips that you attach to your nose, and then the nasal band, as you can see here, can go on and off. Cool part about that is that it's not as flexible as some of the lower quality, low budget strips you find out there. So it maintains that stiffness and keeps your nostrils open through your workouts and through the night. If you're interested in those, I will leave a link in the description where you're gonna save some serious money when you get a starter pack like that one, or even for your refills later on. Now, my personal experience is that these guys, they last 2 to 3 days, depending on how I train. So definitely recommend that. They're more expensive, but over time, it basically adds up. And just the fact that they actually work makes it worth your money. Now, that was the first point. The second point here, when it comes to nasal breathing, is put them on properly. This is a thing that can make them last multiple days longer. If you use alcohol to clean your nose here when you put on these tiny stickers, well, they're gonna sit on for way longer. The next piece of advice, in addition to that, is that you leave them there for a couple of minutes. My best advice is 3 to 5 minutes until you actually put on the band. That way it gets time to fully work the adhesive and just stay on once you got this guy on. The third thing that I found super interesting is that size really matters when it comes to nasal bands. The larger nasal bands, what I thought was better because, well, it should open up your nostrils even more, is not proven to be any better. When you're out training, one that actually fits your nose perfectly is the ideal solution. A good way to measure that is by holding it up under your nose, and if the edges of the clip here, if they barely touch the side of your nose, well, there's a good chance it'll fit perfectly. The reason for this is the goal is not to open up your nostrils, it's to keep them open. As you can see here, if I move a little closer, it does not stay open. However, with this guy, it does. And that is the goal. When we're out there training, as we reach the higher intensity tones, every time we breathe, well, they close together. Of course, we're still gonna be able to breathe, but we're gonna use more muscles doing it, or even worse, we're gonna just breathe through our mouth at an intensity where we could still go based on nasal breathing, which, trust me, lowers the heart rate by 10, 20 beats from my personal experience, which is just insane. We're talking multiple zones lower of intensity if you breathe properly through your nose. Now, that said, overnight it is the opposite. I do like to wear one that's slightly larger than the size of my nose. The reason for this is because here it's not a matter of holding in that position. It is not you fighting to keep it open. It's simply just gonna allow you to breathe more, breathe better through your nose, which then leads me to my fourth point here. The snoring. It is the one thing that I have realized where it makes the biggest difference. I went from snoring 14% of the night to only snoring 4%. So where you may think that a nasal band like this one is not the most sexy thing in bed, well, maybe it is, because my partner seems to really be enjoying the fact that I'm quiet overnight. And then the final thing I realized is that nasal bands is just a 24/7 thing. I came into it thinking like maybe I can perform a little better. Then I realized, oh wow, it also helps me recover better overnight. And now I just realized, why wouldn't I just let this thing on 24/7? It's a habit, you get used to having it there. Sometimes in the beginning especially, I would like try and move it around a little because it's just strange having a thing on your nose constantly. And maybe you get looks from people, but then little by little I just realized, wow, this is just the thing that makes me feel better, whether I'm asleep, whether I'm out training, no matter what I do. So keep your band on 24/7, you'll enjoy it. That's basically the 5 things that I've learned over 1 entire year of nasal breathing, fantastic thing. It's the way we're meant to breathe. Keep that up. No matter how your nose is shaped, this can help you. We're not even talking about the people having severe apnea or snoring problems. This can be a massive game changer. I can definitely vouch for intake breathing here. Been using that exact brand the last year, and it is the brand my wife and I will be using going forward. Link in the description below, and best of luck with nasal breathing. If you have any questions to me, trust me, I've been spending a lot of time with these guys on my nose, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. If not, well, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with people you think could be interested or could benefit from a thing like this. See you next time.